Welcome to the Sparta Dynasty Fantasy Football League news and updates, starring Shark, Dylan, Tyler, Ben, Alec, Chris, Smits, Zoms, Matt, Connor, Germ, and your commissioner and host, Branson. Hello, fellas. Welcome to this week's edition of the Fantasy Football Dynasty League update. It's my bad this week. We're rushing it a little bit. I kind of done messed up and I pushed it a little too far. I forgot what day it was, so let's just get through this one, boys. Alright, starting up with the first one, we've got the matchup between Ben and Branson. You know, swapping it up this time. We got myself going first. I usually go last, but this time we squeaked out a W by 50 points. But I do use the word squeak because I was blessed by Ben for this W. Thank you very much. He just gift wrapped it and gave it to me because he done had his 172nd weekly Beer Olympics this weekend, so he was incapacitated, unable to set the lineup in time. So we had to do a little bit of tweak in there, but the best lineup that he could come up with was the Josh Allen, Alexander Madison, James Conner, Chris Godwin, Devontae Parker, Stephon Diggs, Robert Tonyan. It was David Johnson. I got a little confused there. I was worried that it was Duke, but it was David. Andy Isabella, Goose Egg, and Zane Gonzalez didn't do a whole lot. He didn't get the defense in because I believe he had New Orleans, who was on a bye weekend still. So that is unfortunate for him. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, he had Julio on the bench still. He didn't get to put him in. He had a good defense out there still. He had Ryan Tannehill and Cam Newton still on the bench because he did have Dak Prescott in there. Just a big old goof and gaff for Ben. But that's okay. You know, his team's good. He's going to make the playoffs, and we'll see what happens with that. But he's possibly saved my season by making that goof. Josh Allen didn't do very good. James Conner was probably the star in his team. David Johnson got his points. He got the touchdown, which really solidified a good game. Over on my side, Jared Goff did fine. I mean, really, the only person worth mentioning is my boy, freaking Myles Gaskin, who rattles off great game after great game, and he just doesn't get the touchdowns. So many yards, no touchdowns. That guy is just, if he starts getting some touchdowns, he's gonna be sneaky good. Hopefully, it remains the same once Tua goes under center. I'm just very thankful that I got to start Ryan Fitzpatrick for his swan song. I don't know if he'll ever play in the NFL again, but he worked wonders for my roster while he was there. So I just want to say thank you to Ryan Fitzmagic. I'll miss you greatly because I won't have a second quarterback anymore. So I'll just take this W and I will move on happily. Thank you very much, Ben. Alright, so over here on to the next matchup, we've got Connor versus Shark. Connor was talking a lot of S last week, saying that he was going to make Shark, reveal his fraudulence. But all I'm seeing here is an absolute sad trash pile of a lineup over on Connor's side. Like, what's going on here? Carson Wentz scored Connor Wentz scored most of your points, and man, you didn't even put in a third receiver. I'm just a little bit lost, a little bit dumbfounded here, sir. How are you gonna say that you're gonna make someone else look like a fraud when you don't even put in a third receiver? It's just beyond me. But that's just, we can move on. We're done talking about Connor. On to the team that does not look to be a fraud. They look to be like the real deal somehow, some way. Maybe Shark's brain is just a percentage larger than the rest. I don't know. I don't want to give him that much. So we'll just look at the lineup here. Patty Mahomes, fine and dandy. David Montgomery, it's just whatever. It's David Montgomery. Uh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he looked amazing. Didn't get a touchdown and he still got 27 points. Like, that is absurd. That's absurd. Kevin Ridley bounced back after having a couple rough games. Crowder has just been catching so many balls that it doesn't matter how many yards or touchdowns he gets. Justin Jefferson is on the scene. He's broken out. He is here. He's ready to dominate and be the best receiver for the Vikings and maybe one of the best in the NFL. I mean, shit. Time will tell, but he looks really freaking good. Dan Arnold, the postman, didn't deliver any mail this week. Mike Davis, I think, had his worst game of the year at 14 points. Sheesh. But he did do better than Aaron Jones somehow. And then he's got his Blankenship and Colts, the classic stack for Shark here that's been doing him so well. But yeah, that'll do it. Shark goes on to 4-2. He is not a fraud this week. Sorry, Connor. You done whiffed on that one. And moving on to one of the spicier matchups of the week, we've got Jern John versus Dylan. A battle of the two 1-4s trying to carve out a couple W's, maybe squeak in the playoffs. Germ's going to come away with a W here, which is spicy since last week we had Dylan on talking the trash about Germ. I was like, Germ, why don't you come on? We'll do a little cameo. You can talk your trash back. But he says, no, I am too polite and respectful. I could never say anything like that. So I'll say it for him. Get wrecked, Dylan. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not Germ. He said he'd say it to you in person, so I'm going to hold him to it. I hope that he did get got. I don't know. Yeah, it's just tough. 100 points there. You had a tough. I mean, you did also say that it was a good week for him to catch you on, and it does seem to be the case because your best player, Ezekiel Elliott, he did not have his running mate Josh Jacobs for the week because he was on bye, and Zeke sucked eggs this week. It was sad to watch as a man who owns Ezekiel Elliott jersey. It sucks. That did not look good from Zeke. Hopefully that's not the new norm with the Andy Dalton offense. But God, we'll see. For some reason it's showing me that you started Baker Mayfield twice. We're gonna bring out the handy dandy notebook here, also known as the smartphone. We got the nice yellow case. We're gonna show it off here while we buy some time because editing is not. Who does that? Like, seriously, who does edits anymore? Not this guy. It says you even have 99.5 points on this one, and it says you have 100.5 over there. That's kind of funny. Let's see. Oh, Andy Dalton. Wait, what? Oh, wait, and it says. Oh, I know what happened, guys. I know what happened, fellas. Don't worry about it at all. I did a mistake when I did Photoshop. We're not editing this, by the way. Just want to say that twice. So what should be there, you see Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, but what should be there under McLaurin and Deebo Samuel is DJ Moore. Wait, what? Oh, I'm so stupid. Good lord. It should be Travis Fulgham for Germ, who's the spicy pickup last week, and he came through with 18 points, 75 yards and a touchdown. Really helped Germ get the dub. Tyler Boyd was the person who should be there instead of Baker. Apologies. He scored 11 points. Solid game. He racked up like 80 all-purpose yards and 6 touches. So I mean, that's fine and dandy. Moving on to the next thing, we've got DJ Moore versus Lucas Chenault, Trey Burton, and Tyler Hawkinson. Trey Burton was another one of those sneaky pickups that probably no one saw coming onto the scene here. Trey Burton is like the number 2 tight end on the week. And you know what? He went off. He got 2 touchdowns this week. That's probably a big part of the reason why back into frame here. It's a big part of the reason why Germ won this week. Christian Kirk tried to do the same thing for Dylan, but unfortunately it just was not enough, especially after you have the Baker Mayfield performance that he just had. That's tough. It's really, really tough. I'm on the edge of a burp here. Oh Lord. Okay, I feel much better now. So yeah, Andy Dalton didn't do much better than Brashad Perriman. That's really unfortunate after you spend $41 on him. You would expect better. I think that he probably will be better though. It was only his first week under center with this offense, so you gotta hope that it'll be better. Didn't play a kicker because you weren't close enough to do it. It's another one of the reasons why I just want to take kickers out next year, because who gives a rat pee about a kicker? You know what? That's an extra roster spot for, some random guy coming up like freaking Trey Burton or Travis Fulgham from Jones side, Like, kickers aren't interesting. I'm sorry. Kickers are people too, kind of, I guess. Not in fantasy football. That's my take nowadays. I'm sorry I made you guys draft kickers. Apologies. Ending this segment now. It's gone on forever. I'm a ramble guy. And we'll just end it off here by saying congratulations to Germ. Sorry for Dylan. That sucks. That's a tough loss for you. I wonder, we're getting pretty close to the point where you're gonna have to rattle off some W's if you want to make the playoffs. I don't. We'll have to go over the standings later. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but man, it's starting to get intense. You're gonna need some W's now. You're gonna need them. All right, coming into the next matchup here. This one's gonna be more short, more sweet. It's Matt versus Al. And you know what we've got here? We've got the potential for someone to finally put a blemish on Matt's record, because he only scored 115 points, and Al just could not do it. Come on, Al. 3 points. You can squeak a 3-pointer in there somewhere. Nah, it's not your fault, obviously. Tyreek Hill, what are you doing only scoring 4 points? That's really the gist of what's going on here. Al loses by 3 to an undefeated Matt. It sucks. It sucks because if Matt would have played like most other people, he would have lost finally. But he remains undefeated. Whatever. Let's just go over this. Gardner Minshew, Jonathan Taylor, Todd Gurley put up mediocre numbers. Tyreek Hill and Juju Smith-Schuster, Al's first 2 picks, just really lost him the week. That is so gross, and I feel so sad. Like, I was feeling bad about my first 2 picks for a minute there when I had freaking Saquon and George Kittle both hurt not playing. But then when I look at your 2 players, your first 2 picks that are not hurt and they're playing and they're putting up the same numbers as an injured Saquon Barkley, I'm like, dang, that's okay. I guess I can't fret too much. I still have a shot this year. But enough about me. This is your matchup. Chase Claypool is for real. He's coming in. Mark Andrews, really unfortunate. I've been really sad with that entire offense, to be honest with you. Phillip Lindsay came in and had a good game. Tom Brady did not do that good. You're probably pretty disappointed in what Tom did versus Green Bay, 166 yards. They did not have to pass the ball at all because their defense did the work, scoring all the points. I mean, well, they scored a touchdown and then put him on the 1-yard line for Ronald Jones. But, he didn't have to do anything. Sanders and the Chiefs didn't do much either. Very, very unfortunate. Man, just one field goal could have won you the week. But it just did not happen. Matt squeaked it away with Ben Roethlisberger. He started Boone. Oh my God, he had Derrick Henry score all of his points. No wonder he didn't lose. He really deserved to. But Derrick Henry just said, everyone, I have a huge backpack. It can fit you all, and I'm strong enough to carry it. We're gonna win. And that's what happened, and I don't even need to talk about anyone else in your roster because they don't matter. Justin Tucker is literally your second best player besides Derrick Henry, at least this week. Jeez, man, what can you say besides Derrick Henry? Alright, and on to the next one. We've got Tyler versus Smud. Smud the Smiths man, Smudster. Unfortunately, he's going to go down to 1-5. He loses to Tyler. Um, Daniel Jones, that pick is turning out to be really unfortunate. Daniel Jones has been pretty much unusable all year. Kenny Drake finally had one of his big games. He tried really hard to win you this week with that last second garbage time 70-yard touchdown. He did not. He is just not enough, though, unfortunately, because the rest of your roster did not. Well, you can't talk that much trash because Mostert did fine. Adams, he did fine. Not what you'd want from Adams, but it's fine. AJ Brown did amazing, got 2 titties. John Brown, goose egg, he's hurt. Unfortunate. Irv Smith actually really good tight end play there. Slayton, you got the touchdown, that's good. Phillip Rivers actually played pretty darn good. Robbie Gould did fine, and the Titans went negative. Oof, that sucks. It's really not a bad week from Smiths, but he just had to play up against Tyler and Kyler Murray. I'll make that pun all year. They rhyme. It's so easy. It's so cheesy. But Kyler Murray puts up 32 points every week. I mean, the dude went 9 for 24 passing. He went 9 for 24 passing. Like Dylan's passing on Saturdays is better than 9 for 24 passing. Like what the hell is that? Like, but that's fine. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. 2 touchdowns for Kyler Murray, and then he gets 74 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. 32 points out of him. I don't even know. I'd have to bring out the calculator to be able to really understand that one, but Joe Mixon has a fine game, gets the touchdown. Ronald Jones, that trade has been really. We're going to have to go over that one at the end of the year because shoot, man, Ronald Jones is looking good. Ronald Jones is looking good. But I can never be too upset because I love CeeDee Lamb so much that I cannot be upset. I just really can't. Ronald Jones has been really killing it though, so that trade's been going pretty well. Amari Cooper had a good game, garbage time game, but it doesn't matter in fantasy football. It doesn't matter. We'll take those points. 13 from Thielen. He got the touchdown, found the end zone. Julian Edelman might be toast. Most of his points came off of throwing the ball. So if that tells you something, I don't know. That's a big yikes. Ertz is toast for real skis. He's hurt. He's on the IR now. Anthony Miller, I mean, I don't know. He was part of that CeeDee Lamb trade. He's not as good as what Ronald Jones has been for you. That's for sure, though. We all knew that was going to be the case. 3 catches for 8 yards. What the heck? Kirk Cousins had a fine and dandy game. Prater 11. That's good. Rams had 0. Shoot, man. That's kind of a shocker. But it doesn't matter because it's enough for the win. And that moves you to 4-2. At the top of the pack. And Smud will be at the bottom with Dylan. And we'll see how it plays out. And for the last matchup of the week, we have the worst matchup of the week. Between Zams and Chris. Chris, I hope your team performs this badly next week, because I really need another win like that. 82 points, dude. 82 points, man. We literally have freaking. What is that? 1, 2, 3. We have 11 startable positions. And you're putting up 80 points. That's an average of like a little over 7 per player. That's so trash. And most of it came from Matt Ryan over here. Oh, God, man. It's just pitiful when I look at this roster. Matt Ryan literally did all your points, along with Frank Gore. That is so fitting, but geez Louise. Like, I don't even need to name most of these names because you're like, yeah, of course they would score that. Odell Beckham had a bad game, though, 4.5 against Pittsburgh, so it's like, whatever. Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Lord. That's so disgusting. That's one of the grossest things. Like, it makes me want to puke looking at that. Aaron Rodgers, 4.5. Oh, Devontae Freeman freaking doubled him up. That's just tragic. Enough of that team. I'm going to fall ill if I keep speaking of them. Literally, I'm trying not to be sick. I thought I might get sick this morning, and I was like, nah, it's fine, it's fine. But now, when I'm looking at this roster, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be fine. I really don't. Goodness gracious, Lord save my soul. Zoms, let's talk about your roster. Let's, shed a little bit of light here. Lamar Jackson, finally! I've been talking the shit for weeks. Every time we get to your team, I'm like, Lamar Jackson has been disappointing. Zoms is probably so upset that he spent his third pick on him. But he says, no Zoms. No Zoms, do not be upset. Don't be upset. I got you, man. 100 rushing yards and a touchdown. That's what you need, Lamar. That really is, because the passing is just not happening, unfortunately, this year. James Robinson, another solid game, another solid one. He didn't do much in terms of yardage, but he did get the touchdown. So Singletary has been disappointing this year. Humphrey's got your touchdown. That was a great pickup and start. I'm pretty sure that you just randomly picked him up this week. And Robinson didn't do a whole lot this week. Will Fuller has been great this year. Schultz got a couple of points. You can't be mad at 6 from a tight end, especially one that's like, I don't know, you probably got him off the waivers. Like, who cares? 6 points, you'll take that every day. Miles Sanders got hurt in this game, but he touched the ball 10 times, and he got that many yards. That's over 100 yards. 10 yards per touch, man. That's a lot. That's a lot of yards. Jeez Louise. Devontae Freeman did fine. Cody Parkey didn't do much, but the Buccaneers defense, like we talked about earlier, just absolutely decimating Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is incredible. Chicken Rick, you're on the skids, bro. But that does make sense since you do have 2 amazing injured players, Eckler and McCaffrey. And you're still not going to have them for a while. You're still not going to. And I'm going to beat you next week while you still don't have them to take full advantage because I need it. I need it. I need it. Oh, man. Zoms 4-2. Hey, man. Hey, man. 4-2. Like, if we looked at your team at the beginning of the season and we're like, Zoms, after 6 weeks, you're going to be 4-2. I bet you would be thrilled. Surprised and thrilled. I think so, at least. I mean, cool beans, man. 4-2. Rock on. Alrighty. Here we are. Finally done with the matchup reviews. And on to the rewards. Let's look at it. Finally, man. I'm so excited because I finally got the best manager. It's me. 95%. I still think Chris is the only one to do 100, but I'll take 95%. The worst manager was Ben. Obviously, we already talked about his gaffe earlier on in this episode. But yeah, he would have kicked my ass if we both set our perfect lineups. So thank you. The biggest blowout is gonna be Zoms beating Chris. You almost doubled his score, 150 to 82. That's like a 70-point margin of victory. The narrowest victory was Matt and Al, that low-scoring game, only 3 points. Oh man, come on, Al, I was so close. But that's alright, Derrick Henry will do it to you. The highest scorer was Shark at 168. The lowest scorer, Chicken Rick, obviously at 82. And then, onto the positional rewards this week, we've got Deshaun Watson. Number 1, Germ John had him. I almost said Shark, but Germ does indeed have Deshaun Watson. 4 titties. It's a lot of titties. Derrick Henry would know, because he only had 2 titties. I don't know why he would know about 4 titties. Anyways, so continuing, Matt Maurer has Derrick Henry. Shark has Justin Jefferson, the best receiver of the week. 9 for 11, never forget. 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 37 points if I didn't say it already. George Kittle, my guy, he's coming back in, tight end of the week. 7 for 10, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Love it. And then you got Justin Tucker, the kicker for Matt, the second best player on his team. 16 points, be the best kicker. And Tampa Bay defense is the best defense this week. Just great. Just absolutely wonderful. And looking at the waivers this week, there is nothing cool or interesting or exciting whatsoever. Just kickers, and then Al just scooped up Hasty just in case like something goes on with the San Fran backfield. You also got Shark this morning. He picked up a kicker, dropped Dan Arnold because Dan Arnold's balls. Yeah, that's it, man. Nothing interesting on the waivers. Now to get to the real meat of this treat, the current standings. We've got obviously, as we all know, we've got the undefeated Matt Maurer as the first place placeholder. And I do say placeholder because you won't be first at the end of the year. No, I'm just kidding. You probably will be. I mean, shit. That's got a lot of ground to make up over here. We have 4-2 teams though, so you better not slip up there, buddy. You got Shark coming in at number 2, Ben at number 3, Tyler at number 4. He puts himself in the mix. Wow. I beat Tyler. I'm one of those 2 losses. Yes. And then you got Zoms sneaking in there. So that's cool. That's good. Congratulations to you guys. You're doing well. On to the 3-3 teams is just me and Connor sitting here at 3-3. I'm in 6th place and Connor's in 7th. And then we have a couple 2-2 or 2-4 teams, I'm sorry. Al does get the tiebreaker to put him into the last playoff spot. If it were to end today, Al would be in the playoffs because of the points tiebreaker. As I just said, Al number 8, Chris number 9, Germ number 10. And then last place. Hey, at least there's no more winless squads out here. No more winless squads. We've got Put It in Reverse Terry, aka Dylan, at 1-5. Smud's gonna be also at 1-5 at last place. Jeez Louise, what a wild ride for Smits, because he started this year as number 1 and his team looked so darn good. But now we're sitting here and in his last place, 5 losses in a row, and he scored 200 points in the first week. He has 800 points now. That means in the last 5 weeks, he scored 600. He scored less than 600 points combined in this last 5 weeks. That is, wow, dude. What a fall off. We all know it's because of the injuries. That's, it can't be blamed on you or your manager skills. Sorry, I smacked the mic there. It cannot be blamed on you, but like we did say, like with many people's rosters, but yours just had the look of volatility to it with the players that you had. If they're healthy, you're going to be a good performer. If they're not, we see what's going on. But you know what? Hope for health for Smith's roster, and if not, I assume that he'll probably stay there the remainder of the year. Yeah, that's what the standings are looking like. We're starting to get there to the point where it's really getting spicy. And we're gonna probably have to see in the next couple of weeks here. We're gonna have to do some math on what it would take. Maybe Matt is gonna clinch his playoff spot here shortly. He probably could do that any week now. Honestly, if he wins next week, he might clinch. I don't know if he could miss the playoffs with 7 wins. I don't know about that one. We'll see though. We'll see. But yeah, let's go on to the previews. Alright guys, so looking into next week, we've got Branson versus Chris. This is going to be hopefully an easy win. I want to say easy win because Chris has been so bad these past couple weeks. Like, please just have one more of those really horrible weeks where I don't have to do anything except for just put my lineup in. Just let me get that easy W. I need it so badly. It would really swing me into a good playoff position. But my lineup is looking shaky too. My thin roster of running backs has taken a hit because Myles Gaskin has a bye week. Also, I no longer have Ryan Fitzpatrick because Tua is the quarterback. They're also on bye because that's the same team. Um, and I'm starting Chase Edmonds as my running back too. Um, and I am starting Tim Patrick at my super flex. So, my roster's not looking super great right now either, but hopefully it's better than yours, cause I need it to be. All right, moving on to the other matchups, we've got Tyler versus Dylan here. Um, I don't know what's going on here with this. The projections look mad in Dylan's favor, but projections don't mean nothing. They ain't not mean nothing. Um, so we'll see what happens there. Dylan is desperate for a win. Tyler's been on a roll, so it's gonna be tough. We got some desperation mode versus just hanging out, chilling, maxing, relaxing. So we'll see if Dylan can grind his way to a W that he needs. Um, then we've got the matchup of bottom feeders here. This matchup here is actually big. Jerem versus Smits. This is a huge matchup because well, whoever loses, their chance of making the playoffs is it's just in a tough spot. Um, Obviously, if Germ loses, then they're both in a tough spot. But if Smits loses, then his chances are almost gone to make the playoffs this year. So it's also desperation time for Smits. Both of those guys are going to be grinding for that one. Let's take a look at the other ones. Let's see, Zoms versus Ben, big 4-2 matchup. Oh my goodness, that might be a matchup of the week. We'll have to see. Obviously, this is big for positioning. I'm rooting for Zams because. Oh wait, no. I'm rooting for Ben because I think Zams could still fall off, so I could take his spot. That's right. I feel like Ben's pretty solid. He's not gonna miss the playoffs. I really don't think that. I don't think it's possible unless he forgets to set his lineup every week. Um, but hopefully that's not the case. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be a big one, man. Can't wait to see what happens there. So let's watch everyone. Make sure you keep a tab on that matchup. And then next we have Connor versus Al. Kind of a similar situation. Both guys really need it to solidify a good chance at the playoffs. Al definitely more so than Connor. But we will see. We will see. I believe that Michael Thomas is back, so Connor can finally get some usage out of his first round pick. Um, Man, we'll see what happens there. It looks like the projections are favoring Connor, so we'll see. Um, Moving on. Oh lord, we've got the undefeated Matt versus the 4-2 top scoring offense Shark. I take back what I said. I'm so sorry, Zymes and Ben. Your matchup is not the matchup of the week. Sweet sound effect. Scratch that. Shark Mauer, matchup of the week. How do you get any better than this? Two top scoring offenses, undefeated. Oh my god, what the hell? What gives here? I don't know. Is Shark gonna go to a mediocre record after being so good all year? Is he gonna go to 4-3? That's so mediocre of a record compared to how he's played. Or will Matt finally get the blemish? I'm thinking he's gonna get the blemish, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's gonna be a good one, and I really can't wait to find out what happens with this matchup. Keep your eyes on this one, guys. We've got a great week of fantasy football up ahead. Yeah, let's just get excited and watch some football and enjoy our lives watching some football and talking some shit. That's all I gotta say. Have a good one, fellas. Bye bye.